So here's another video. I made one the other day, kind of going over how I was fed up with kind of the status quo, you know. Nobody seems to be concerned about, or maybe they just don't know about, the fact that they can retire. I got two friends. I mentioned one of them in the first video. 60 years old, has nothing saved for retirement, and just found out another friend, which I didn't realize he was 60 years old. He told me it's the same boat, so I have to be telling him about this. He said, well, I'm in the same boat, 60, nothing for retirement. And he may have to quit work. He's got an injury. And you get injured at 60 years old, that's a big deal. Especially when you do, a construction job, a dirty job, I like to call them. Things where you have to work with your back and your hands, sometimes your brain, but mostly your back and your hands. And they don't seem all that worried about it. They're like, well, my dad worked till he was dead. I guess I'll work till I'm dead too. That just seems like a terrible plan to me. Seems like no plan. Just let Mother Nature take its course, so to speak. Well, I'm off work today because it's snowing, and I haul oversized loads. I'm just a dumb trucker. And can't haul oversized loads when it's snowy out. You see out the window there, we got a pretty good snowstorm here in Kansas. And I just got tired of sitting in the house, so I'm just out here cruising around the Jeep. And thought I'd make a little video here, kind of going over what I talked about last night, that very subject. 60 years old with nothing saved. Where does that leave you? Well, you got Social Security, and I talked to both of them about it. You can draw Social Security. You can live on that. They both earn good money, and so they'll get good Social Security. But if they both take it early, say 62, if you've looked in your Social Security, and right now I'm speaking to the people my age. I'm 53. I'm speaking to the group that's 50 to 60. If you're this age and you retire at 62, well, I believe it's something like 75%. Might be less than that. Might be 60-something%. I'd have to look at the numbers for sure. But you get a big decrease. I think it actually is 60-something% is what you end up getting. So say you're going to get $3,000 a month at 67, and you decide to draw early at 62. You'd only be getting about $1,300 a month. Or I'm sorry, about $2,000 a month. My math is bad. Sorry about that. 3,000 reduce 66%. That'd be $2,000. Whereas if you wait till you're 70, it's that much more. It's like 30% more, a third more, whatever. I know on my own personal Social Security, which, by the way, you can look up. I hope y'all know that, especially if you're my age and you're thinking about retiring. You can go on, I think it's called socialsecurity.gov, something like that. You got to make an account, use your Social Security number, and they'll tell you what you've earned, and if you qualify, and they'll show you what you've earned every year, and give you your Social Security amount. It'll also tell you your disability amount, which is something else I want to talk about here. If you are approaching Social Security and you decide to retire early, you lose, let's call it a third. I may be wrong, but I want to say it's around 30 if you're retired at 62. And then if you're retired at 70 versus 67, you end up getting a third, or something like that. It's very close to that. But you can find all this out by going on your own, going on Social Security on your own, and looking up your own personal output. Now, that is also in today's dollars. When you look at this, you have to understand it's in today's dollars. Same way with the disability. So if you drew disability today and it says you can get, say, like in my case, I think mine says $2,500. If something was to happen to me, I get $2,500 a month for the rest of my life. That's today's dollars. If I draw Social Security early, I think mine currently says $2,100.62. That's in today's dollars. 53, so 9 years from now I'd be 62. So inflation for 9 years on that 2,100 is what I would actually get. So probably closer to 3,000. Same way at the 67 mark, except for now that's 14 years into the future. So it's a much higher number. So not only is it a higher number right off the bat because it's a full retirement or full Social Security amount, they call it full retirement. But it's also adjusted for inflation, 14 years. If I decide to go at 70, well, you still have that extra third again, but now it's also going to be inflated above that. I think my 70 number is right around, I think it's 4,300 or something like that. So you're talking probably over $6,000, so wait till 70. Well, is that good money? Well, not today. In today's dollars it would be, but then probably not. In today's dollars, it's over $4,000. That's not bad. If I had to retire today and all my stuff was paid off, I could do fine on $4,000 a month. And that's what I've been talking to these two guys about, because they asked me, so what are my options? And so those are your options. Rely heavily on your Social Security, but how you have to approach it is, don't take it early. And for every year that you take early, you're going to lose money. So if you can keep working at least until you get to the point where the amount of Social Security is going to cover you. You're not going to end up behind the 8 ball, so to speak. So take care of yourself in that respect. But also, if you're 60 and you're not planning on retiring until you're, let's say 67, let's say you go to full retirement, they give you 7 years that you can put in your 401k. 7 years to build IRAs. 7 years to get all your crap paid off. One of these guys is actually paying on a truck, a car, and a house. 60 years old. He has a house payment, a car payment, and a truck payment. He's upside down. And he's the same one that may have to quit because of health reasons. And that's pretty scary, considering that you have all these payments and now you may not be able to work and you're too young for Social Security, and even if you did draw it, it wouldn't be enough to pay your bills. You have to become a manager of your own money. Is it too late to start saving for retirement at 60? Too late to start saving for retirement at 62 or 63 or any of these numbers? No, it's never too late. It'll never be too late. When you're dead, it's too late. But you can start saving at any time. Obviously, the younger you are, the better off you'll be by saving, especially given compounding interest. I know this personally because I didn't start until I was 43. And man, even if I had started at 30, that would have been a 13-year jump I would have had. And I can also tell you that, like most people, when I started, I wasn't putting in the full amount. I was doing up to their maximum match. I was putting in, at that time, it was 4% to get 2%. That's all they would give you is 2%. Well, now my company will give you 4%. They'll dollar for dollar match you up to 3%. And then it's 50% or 50 cents on the dollar after that, up to 4%. So basically, the max they'll give you is 4%. You got to put in 5% to get it. Now, I can tell you straight out, I'm putting in a hell of a lot more than that. I'm maxing out my 401k, which at 53, that's $30,500 a year. Now, I can tell you these other two guys, because they have payments, they can't do that. They cannot afford to do that. So, is it too late to retire at 60? Is it too late to start saving at 60? Or not, is it too late to retire at 60? That's not what I'm going to say. Is it too late to start saving for retirement at 60? Is it too late to start contributing to your 401k and IRAs? No. Matter of fact, it's pertinent that you do this. And both of them said the exact same. well, how much money would I have saved if I started today? Well, if you're 60 and you go to late retirement, which would be 70, if you could make it those 10 years, and you could put in $30,500 a year starting this year, which I don't think either one of them can because they got payments. But if you could, that'd be $30,000 the first year, right? If the market grows on average 10%, that'll end up be about $3,300 before you go into next year. But if you just went by that number, 30,000, 10 years worth of time, that's 300,000. Now again, you're going to get interest on that, and it should be probably closer to 500,000 by then. Let's just say let's say it's just like savings. All you got in there was the 30,000 each year for 10 years. That'd be 300,000. Well, is 300,000 even a good number? Well, if you went by the 4% rule, they give you $12,000 a year at 4% for the rest of your life. Well, for a long time. It may not go the rest of your life. I don't know that. Depends on how things go. Some people are saying the 4% rule don't work as good anymore now. Theoretically, you should be good, especially if you made it to 70. How much more life are you going to have? 30 years, you'd be 100. Let's say you got enough to make it to, or let's say you get 300,000 in 10 years. You get 12,000 a month after that if you draw 4%. If you want to draw it down, obviously you can take more than that out. But that gives you an extra $1,000 a month. And if you delayed retirement until 70, now you're going to get that bigger check from Social Security. So let's say you get that $4,000 check, and now you can add $1,000 to that. You get $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year, roughly for the rest of your life. So no, it's never too late. It's never too late to start. It's like saying, is it ever too late to start putting out a house fire? No, it's never too late. I mean, once it's dead and on the ground, yeah, it's too late, but that's the same with a person. Dead and on the ground, it's way too late. When you're dead, it's too late. As long as you're still alive, it's not. And so basically, the rub of this is get started today.